Hey, Dan Passarelli here. We're really getting down to some fundamentals here. I wanted to take a little breather here from direct market information and talk a little bit about techniques. I want to talk about how to trade straddles, specifically the analysis priority of straddles. Because we've talked about trading straddles before, and I've shared with you my methodology for it, but which is the most important thing to focus on? So let's take a look at this chart of Apple here, right? Maybe I'm thinking about a straddle. Now, look, here's the thing about straddles, they're non directional, pure volatility trades. If the stock moves a lot, that's how you make money. And drawing the sort of at expiration P&L diagram way where you just look at the break evens and wanted to go through there is one very basic way to trade it, but you'll never make money just doing that. And so what is it that we have to look at? Well, usually we do look at that, but we also look at the Greeks and we take a look at how much the stock has been moving. And ultimately we take a look at the price of the straddle, because when you really want the straddle, right, when you really think the stock can be volatile in the near future, everybody else probably thinks that too, and they already bought it, and the price of the straddle is super high, right? So how do we find that real sweet spot, that happy medium where we can buy a straddle for value at the right time in the right situation? One thing that I like to do first is I like to say, even before the things that I just shared, I'm going to go and let's look at Apple here. Well, first of all, I seldom buy the expiring week straddle. I feel there just needs to be more time, and the thetas are just monstrously high. If we go out one more week, our theta is half the expiring week. And then if we go out yet another week, it's 20% less than that, and so on. So I might look at say the 11-day straddle here. And I can buy the call for 360. I could buy the put for probably 390 and something as liquid as Apple. So what does that come out to? 360 plus 390 is 750. Okay, and then I say, okay, I can buy it for 750 over 11 days. Where has this been in the past 11 days? So I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so first of all, like here, this is a pretty big move, right? When I was recording this, Apple closed at 154.48, but this day going back a few days, it had a high of 164.26, almost $10 higher, $9.76, 78 cents higher. Well, if I can buy the straddle for 750, I know the break evens are 750 below the strike, 750 above the strike. It's not unreasonable to think that we can move $7.50 in 11 days, because we've been through there just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days ago. And this is such a ridiculously simplistic way to look at it, but it's among the most important. So that's your top priority, is just to do that little exercise. How much is the straddle? That means the at expiration break evens are, in this case, 750 higher, $7.50 lower. In the 11 days, has it moved more than that? And that's no guarantee, but it gets you thinking, hey, does this make sense? Am I on the right track? If we were to go out 18 days, we'd pay a little more for it. We'd pay, just call it 450, and 475 is 925. So going back 18 days, so this 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. This is 16 days. We had a high of 171. I mean, that was $17 higher, where it just has to move 927. So again, this is no guarantee, but are we barking up the right tree? Yeah, probably. I mean, we're not being unrealistic. So that's the first step in the priority. The next one is to do that at expiration break even. Looking at it like this, saying, okay, look, here's my break evens at expiration. That's great. We know the most we can lose is what we pay for it. But I like to be out of these straddles way before expiration. So what I'll typically do is I'll say, let's move the day ahead if this, I'm looking at the 18-day one in this case, 1 week, 7 days, and if it doesn't move, how much do I lose? I actually don't lose that much because the theta is sort of small. Here's the break-evens I really care about. The before expiration break-evens. These are the important ones. I'm not holding this all the way till expiration. I just use that as a guide to see if I'm being realistic. So that's the second priority. And then, of course, the third priority is indeed the Greeks. And we're going to go down here and let's just look at this top line one. Our delta is very, very flat because we're pretty close to the money. We've got positive gamma, which means our delta is going to change in our favor. We lose $283 a day if we're to buy a 10 lot. Now, a 10 lot would be like $9,000. And some people's accounts, that's fine. A lot of folks' accounts, if you're probably below 50 grand, you're probably looking more at like a 2 or 3 lot. Let's just model out a 2 lot. That's $1,800. We want to do that modeling, and we want to look at what our delta is, what our gamma is, but especially what our theta is. We lose $56 every day this doesn't work out, and that if we stay close to the strike price, worst case scenario, that theta is going to get even bigger. So we've got to set sort of a time stop for ourselves. We look at our Vega, because of implied volatility is really high, like it was when I was shooting this video. We might really want to make sure we're modeling this at a lower volatility to make sure that is realistic. So the Greeks is the third priority, but don't think for a minute that it's not important. It's extremely important, especially that little theta exercise. That is how to trade straddles, the analysis priority of straddles. I hope that helps. This is Dan Passarelli, Trade Smart.